Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my videos. Ralph Rangnick leaves Manchester United. So Rangnick will not take up the consultancy role. Ralph Rangnick was Manchester United's interim manager for around 4 or 5 months. He endured one transfer window at Manchester United. Unfortunately, Rangnick did not get backed in this year's January transfer window. Revert back to earlier on this year when Rangnick was at Man United. He made changes because he recommended Ewan Sharping as an assistant coach and analyst. He also recommended Chris Armisen as an assistant coach, and he recommended Saz Chalenzin as a sports psychologist. Before, Ralph Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. Earlier on this year, it got officially announced that Ralph Rangnick got appointed in as the new manager of Austria. Now, I want to give you some news on Darwin Nunez. According to Ojogo, Man United are very close to getting Darwin Nunez. Darwin Nunez wants Manchester United to reach an agreement with Benfica because Nunez wants to join Manchester United. Fabrizio Romano said not so long ago that Darwin Nunez 100% wants to leave Benfica this summer. Nunez has been at Benfica since 2020. He's got a contract with them until 2025. He is a forward. He's only the age of 22, so still young. Benfica got him from Almeria. Benfica paid £20 million. There's a lot of players that Erik ten Hag wants to recommend to the club. We've been heavily linked with Urian Timber from Ajax. We've also been in for Anthony. Man United is still in for Frenkie de Jong from Barcelona. We've been linked with Declan Rice for a long time. Ten Hag's also interested in Lisandro Martinez. We've been tentatively linked with Ousmane Dembele. There's been a lot of reports coming out regarding Ruben Neves recently. Like I updated you the other day, it said Man United are on the verge of making a final push to sign Ruben Neves. Erik ten Hag has told Man United to beat Barcelona and Arsenal to Ruben Neves. Wolves want £50 million. On the other side of things, there's a lot of players that Erik ten Hag is going to get rid of. It said 10 players are set to leave Manchester United this summer. Ten Hag's transfer budget has already been revealed. He is Manchester United's manager. Ten Hag replaced Ralph Rangnick. Not so long ago, Ten Hag had his first interview as the Manchester United manager. Ten Hag did sign a 3-year contract with an option of a 4th year. Man United confirmed the appointments of Mitchell van der Gag and Steve McLaren, you know, they're working alongside Ten Hag at Man United. It's good that Ten Hag is experiencing the Premier League. Hopefully at Manchester United he can replicate what he did at Ajax. You've got to admire the work he did at Ajax. At Ajax he won Eredivisie titles, he won Dutch Cups, and revert back to 2019 he got Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals. Ten Hag was the Ajax manager for around 5 years. Is Manchester United's 5th permanent manager since Sir Alex Ferguson. Manchester United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson. You know, Man United sacked David Moyes after like 10 months. Man United finished 7th under the David Moyes era. Then we had Louis van Gaal, we had him for around 2 years and then we sacked him. Man United won the FA Cup under him. And then Manchester United had Jose Mourinho. We had Jose Mourinho for around 2.5 years. He did enjoy one good season when he was the Man United manager because he did win 3 trophies in his first season. The 3 trophies was the Community Shield, the EFL Cup and the Europa League. Mourinho didn't do well in his second season. The reasons it didn't work out under him is because he had bad disputes with the board and bad disputes with the top players. And then after Mourinho, Manchester United had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Solskjaer was the Manchester United manager for almost 3 years. Man United sacked Solskjaer in November of last year. So there you go. As things stand, Man United have not won a trophy for 5 years. Nowhere near good enough to our standards. Man United have only won 4 trophies in the last 10 years. The last time Man United won the Premier League was back in 2013. Man United lost their final game against Crystal Palace 1-0 at Selhurst Park. Obviously Eric Ten Hag attended that game. Despite the loss to Palace, you know, Man United are still in the Europa League for next season. Man United finished 6th place. It was Man United's worst ever Premier League season in terms of points. Man United finished on just 58 points. Like I've said to you, I hate the way the football club has been run for a long time. We've got to get the Glazers out of the club because they've been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. A lot of United fans have been protesting against the Glazers, and like I've said so many times recently, the protesting will persist until the Glazers are out of the club. The Glazers have owned Manchester United now for around 17 years. They bought the club for 500 million back in 2005. There's still a lot of narratives coming out saying that Old Trafford could be demolished. You know, Man United could build a new stadium. Man United have played in the same stadium for 112 years. A lot of players are going to leave Manchester United. Dean Henderson, he's on his way out of the club. He's been heavily linked with a move to Newcastle. Dean Henderson is Manchester United's second choice goalkeeper. The season just gone, he only made 3 appearances. Tom Heaton, he should be leaving this year. Tom Heaton's a backup keeper. He's Man United's third choice goalkeeper. Man United got Tom Heaton on a free transfer from Aston Villa in the summer of last year. And Juan Mata looks like he's on his way out of the club. There's a lot of rumours of him going back to Palace. And Juan Mata was not our first choice right back under Ralph Rangnick. Diego Dallo was. And Juan Mata defensively is good most of the time, but the attacking side of his game is not good. And Juan Mata has enjoyed 3 full seasons at Man United. Man United got him from Crystal Palace back in 2019 in a deal worth £50 million. Jones and Bailly, they're on their way out of the club. Earlier on this year, Phil Jones and Eric Bailly told their teammates that they intend on leaving the club. You know, Jones and Bailly should have left in January this year. Jones and Bailly are backup centre-halves. You know, they don't really get in the team. Man United definitely need to get rid of Harry Maguire. He's very poor. Man United spent a lot of money on him, you know, paid around 80 million. He's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment, and he's the second most expensive signing at the club behind Pogba. Maguire has been a United player for around 3 years or so. Throughout the course of the season just gone, a lot of Man United fans were demanding for the captaincy to be taken off Harry Maguire because he's not a leader. He had injury not so long ago. Alex Telles, I reckon that he's on his way out of the football club. He's been poor for the last few months. Telles appeared to be our first choice left back when we had Rangnick, but I think he was only starting games Telles because obviously Luke Shaw wasn't available. Shaw's out of injury at the moment. He's had quite a lot of injuries as a United player. Shaw is injury prone. Nemanja Matic, we know that he's leaving the club. Earlier on this year, Matic announced he'll be leaving Man United this summer, despite having 12 months on his contract. Matic isn't one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that, he's still being given his opportunities. He's the only predominant centre defensive midfielder Man United have got at the moment. Matic has been at United for around 5 years. Man United got him from Chelsea back in 2017 for 40 million. Paul Pogba, looks like he's leaving. He's out of contracts very soon. Not too sure where Pogba's going to be going. Real Madrid, PSG and Juventus have all been linked with him. Earlier on this year, Pogba rejected a move to Man City. He said Man City were considering signing Pogba on a free from Manchester United. Said City were willing to offer him a 4-year deal. Pogba missed the final game against Crystal Palace because he was out with injury. He's injury prone because he's had quite a lot of injuries since he re-signed for the club. Pogba's enjoyed 6 seasons at Man United since he re-signed. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far. Pogba's Man United's most expensive sign at the moment because United paid 89 million for him. Jesse Lingard, I reckon that he's on his way out of the football club. Earlier on this year, it said Jesse Lingard was resigned to leaving Man United. His contract is out soon. Lingard is a squad player. He doesn't really get in the team, but he has been part of the football club for a long time. He came up our academy, and at the second half of last season, he enjoyed a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made an impact. Martial, Man United will look to get rid of him permanently. The season just gone, Martial was out on loan with Sevilla. Juan Mata, looks like he's leaving this year, but there again, the Manchester Evening News said before the Palace game that Juan Mata doesn't rule out staying at Manchester United. Mata has enjoyed 9 seasons at the club, so reflecting on that, he's been a long-serving player. He's had a good career at the club. Manchester United got him from Chelsea back in 2014. We brought him in under the David Moyes era. Edison Cavani, I think he's already left the club. I'm not too sure where he's going. Man United got Cavani on a free transfer from PSG back in the summer of 2020. So there you go. And obviously next year players will leave the club. We've got quite a lot of players' contracts that do expire next year. Cristiano Ronaldo, I think there's a good chance he'll leave next year, but I don't think he'll leave this year because obviously Ronaldo will want to play under Ten Hag. Well, Ronaldo's already said he wants to stay, and Eric Ten Hag wants Cristiano Ronaldo to stay. Ronaldo's contract at Manchester United expires next year. There's an option of a further year. Ronaldo's the highest earner at Man United at the moment. He earns £480,000 a week. Man United re-signed Ronaldo in the summer of last year from Juventus. Since Ronaldo re-signed for United, he's got 24 goals in all competitions. He has 18 goals in the Premier League. Ronaldo missed the final game against Crystal Palace because he picked up a hip injury. Don't forget, earlier on this year, Ronaldo announced his baby son had passed away, and that was upsetting. Marcus Rashford, I think if he doesn't pick up form and he keeps getting injuries and that, I can see him leaving next year. But I don't think he'll leave this year, despite him being subjected to a lot of transfer speculation throughout the course of this year. Rashford missed the final game against Crystal Palace because he was out with illness. For me, Rashford's not been the same player since he had that operation on his shoulder. Rashford's out of contract next year. Fred, I can see him leaving next year. I don't think he'll leave this year. Fred is not good enough to represent the club. Man United got Fred from Shakhtar Donetsk, was it around 3 or 4 years ago? Got him in a deal worth 50 million. Lindelof is another one who I can see leaving next year. Don't think he'll leave this year. Lindelof isn't one of our first choice centre-halves, is he? Obviously with the signing of Varane in the summer of last year. Luke Shaw, he's another one who could leave next year if he doesn't pick up form and he keeps getting injuries. So there you go. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.